Hello, Karen here, Emerging Soul Tarot with your daily read. I'm going to pull a Sacred Rebel Oracle card and then we'll use a Starman, a bit of creativity. Okay, see what we have today, people. And excuse me, I really have a frog in my throat today again. Ah, beautiful. We have Pandora's Gift. We all know Pandora. Opening Pandora's box and mythology. But this is really a different take on Pandora. She's kind of maligned, you know. She was sent down and she opened the box. Told not to open the box and let loose loads of, well, you know the story. But her name, the name Pandora means all gifted actually, and kind of represents our curious nature and that sort of yearning to conquer chaos, evil, darkness and all that with the light of knowledge. So she really is the hopeful voice of our soul, you know, the ones that ask questions. But again, this is through uncomfortable learning we find our treasure. Yeah. So it's, the oracle is a call to put your run-of-the-mill beliefs aside and your judgment, and surrender any guilt you've got, or that fear, you know, the fear of something bad happening. So it's reframing experience. So anything that's happened that feels bad or wrong, you know, it's that sense of suspending your judgment and your belief of that situation excuse me, and digging for the learning in it, because that's what we're doing. We all get it wrong, we all mess up, we all say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, but we're not meant to sit in guilt. Yeah, go put things right if necessary, offer an apology, but you're not meant to drag that round with you. But it's also, this card is a sign of that sacred rebellion, and that sort of uprising to liberation, being liberated from judgment, criticism, guilt, shame, all that. So hooray. Yeah, and really breaking free from the weighty criticisms of the world. So, you know, it really is a bit of a call to disobey anything that's not divine, anything that you don't feel is coming from your higher self, from source. Okay, but then, you know, looking within and finding the light. So really interesting card. I said let's have a bit of creativity and Sacred Rebel. So we'll put a few tarot and see what else there is. I think we've all been pretty much conditioned, you know, to feel, especially if we've been brought up in religious traditions, to kind of carry that guilt and shame, and, you know, but this is really about no, because in a sense you haven't done anything wrong, you know. Yeah, we got Four of Wands, beautiful, union, homecoming. Yeah, we need to come home to ourselves, to the divine, to source. Yeah, beautiful. Four of Swords. Oh, I don't do upside down. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles, that kind of legacy, but also end of cycle. Yeah, and Three of Cups. Look at that, people. And on the bottom we have the Lovers. So we're talking union, so there's a sense. We've got the Sun there as well. There's a sense with the read today, you know, that we need to move beyond and look at the lessons we've learned in life and stop being bogged down with them. I watched something earlier, it's interesting, and it was about this sense of time. It was a thing on the Hopi Indians, and it was their sense of time, that they haven't got words in their language for past and future. So there's that sense that everything, time's not linear, it's all happening, it's all condensed in the moment. And I guess this Pandora card's like that. So the real sense of being right in the now, right in the moment. In this deck, this talks about, that's the Four Wands with the flowers on top and the people waving in the background, yeah, that kind of homecoming. In this deck it says, I enroll others in the strength of my vision. So this is about that partnership and an inner circle rooting for your success and the resources to build something of lasting value. So if we're stuck in past situations and we've not moved on from them, there's absolutely no way we can kind of be fully here, fully in the present moment. You know, if we're trying to build something, it's very difficult to build it if we're not right in the present, right in this time. And this, I mean, this is a legacy card. It's the end of cycle. It's the output of your work. But in this deck it talks about, I give a wealth of life, seeding ideas. So we got vision there, and this is about life seeding ideas. So that's heart-centered action, yeah. It's about passing on the means and the knowledge to thrive. So that's what we always think of legacy and think of money, and because it's pentacles we think of worldly stuff. Yeah, it is worldly, but it's also about passing on the legacy to children, to the people we love, the people in our community, you know, passing on the knowledge to thrive, yeah? Something that's got meaning, and that only comes from source, from spirit, from love, from, you know, from a heart centre, you know, Four of Wands and this, the homecoming, the heart centre. So, and then we got this beautiful Three of Cups. I love the depiction of this in this. That's pretty, isn't it? So, you know, we see this in the Rider-Waite as the three women, you know, raising their cups. Kind of, it's bountiful and celebratory. And this actually is, it's very direct. The title on it gives a kind of mantra. It says, I am here to be celebrated. And I know a lot of us, it's really difficult to kind of look at the brightness of our light. I know it is for me personally. I think, oh, that sounds really, you know, kind of cringy to me. But it's true, because anything we have to give is what pours in and through us, and it's really from the collective, from source. So you're only, if you're moving in love and creativity, if you're being, you know, made in the image, I know that's a bit biblical thing, but I do think we're sparks of the one flame, then in that sense we don't claim we don't claim being the source of it. We're just rooted into that source. Some people claim that they're God, but personally I don't. I don't. You'd all be in trouble if I was. But yeah, this joy of giving and receiving, sisterhood, brotherhood, and it's also about creating that sacred space together. So yeah, a joint thing. 3 for me is the number of creativity. You get the 1, then you get the 2. They get together and make a child or make a project. Whatever you're creating. So there's that sense of the co-creation with this card. But it also says that this card, when it comes out, you're touched by grace and something miraculous is coming from you. So I think really the message today, the long and the short of it, is we have this Pandora's gift. That Pandora is like maligned in myth. I think a lot of the sacred feminine is being restored and reinterpreted, and we need to begin to really reinterpret ourselves. So it's living in the present moment. So if you've got guilt and you've got shame and you've got anger and you've got unforgiveness, any of that stuff, you need to bring it right in this present moment, because there isn't anything apart from the present moment you're in. And choose to learn what you need to learn from that experience, because you're here you're a creator. You're constantly creating. And if your mind is in the past and in things that have gone by, that hurt, that you made mistakes in, that you're feeling good, you're not going to get into that present creative flow. I mean, all of these are about, they are about creating. They are about leaving a legacy. It's about coming home to yourself, coming right back to your creative centre, and working with others to bring that about. But first off, working with yourself and with spirit to get aligned to that beautiful creative flow. So yeah, lovely, really lovely read. But this flow of the sacred feminine, I had a thing a little while ago about Medusa, and the way the feminine, the sacred feminine, is portrayed has not been fully correct, because it's been skew-iffed by that kind of left brain thinking in us all. And I'm not talking male and female, I'm just talking the sacred masculine and feminine principle. But we're kind of coming back where we're reinterpreting that. We're reinterpreting that mythology, and the condition. We've been conditioned by these overarching myths of religion, and it's about bringing that back to ourselves. What do we, not what we've been told externally, what do we really believe? What can we throw our heart in? Creating heart-centered science, this one talked about. What are we creating? What legacy are we leaving? What are we passing on? Is such important work. It really is important work, and it's beautiful, and it's such a lovely thing to be doing. It is so beautiful to be doing this work. It puts you in bliss, joy, lifts your hearts. It brings you into a place of celebration when you're aligned to that beauty. So there you go, people. We'll be creative and live in the moment, and I'm as guilty as anyone else. Oh, there you go, there's our card. I'm as guilty as anyone else of kind of getting trapped in past or hurt or guilt. We all do it, but the minute we do, it's a bit like a life meditation. In meditation, when your mind wanders, you bring your mind back to, you bring your attention back to the focus on the breath. So life's a bit like that. When your mind wanders and it's going, yeah, you're not good enough, you're this, you're that, you're guilty, you're shameful, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. Do life sacredly, like a meditation, and you bring your mind back to, no, I am, just by virtue of being a creative being. What am I creating in this moment? It's like bringing your mind back to the moment, to the breath, to the I'm creative. I'm a creative being, and I can either create more of the same, or I can learn my lessons and be in the present moment and create right from there. It's beautiful. And it is a discipline, believe me, but it's so freeing. And go look at some of the Hopi. I'm sure it's pronounced Hopi, the Hopi Indians, and their take on time. Yeah, it's really, yeah, it really makes you realise they haven't even got the language for past and future, and that's our problem. Maybe we should be thinking about, the language we use to ourselves. 10 years ago I did that, therefore my life's going to be rubbish in the future. We need to look at our language, what we're speaking to ourselves, because we're meant to be right here. Look at this, fruition. Rest assured your dreams and visions will come to fruition. And that's the truth, people. If we're dreaming in the present, and we're bringing the future into the present, we're making it live, we're creating it in the present. Yeah, so get your Pandora's boxes open, learn the lessons from the chaos that has been, and just stand in the moment and create from there, people. So many beautiful things to be created, and we are surrounded by so much beauty. All right then, I'll stop there. I could go on for another hour, but I won't. I think that's what Spirit is wanting to say to us. Live in the present moment. Live creative. Create beauty. Wonderful things. Lots of love, all of you. Bye-bye.